Hey y'all, Bridget Bartlett here with My Vision Agency, and today I want to show you how to create custom AI tools like this one that you can use for your clients or you can use for lead magnets when you're running ads. Now, I actually have created this tool based on our 4-hour workday strategy, and the first step of that strategy is to record a YouTube video, and we use Descript to do this. So when you record the video in Descript, you actually get the transcript and the timestamps automatically generated for you. The reason that I didn't have the AI create the timestamps is because it's just not very good at that. So I wanted to use the timestamps from Descript. Now, the next thing is we want to add our free community link and the link to the main offer. Now, keep in mind, you can create tools for any purpose that you want to, but it's really great that we can create these super customized tools based off of ChatGPT, but our clients do not have to have their own ChatGPT account to utilize this functionality. We also have the ability to streamline the result to ensure that everything is getting placed exactly where we want it to. And the best way to do that is by white labeling your own GPT. So that's what I want to show you today. Before we dive into the back end part, I want to show you how this works. The first step is to go to Descript and copy and paste the transcript. So I'm going to do that here. Let's make sure to highlight all of that and copy. And let's come back here to the tool and we're going to paste in that transcript. Now the next step is the timestamps, and you can use Descript again to generate this, and we're going to copy those timestamps. Now again, you could use the description here that Descript has generated. However, you really don't have a lot of control over the output that's generated, and you likely have other offers and things that you want to promote. So it just kind of makes it generic when you use the Descript option. So back to our tool, I'm going to go ahead and paste in those timestamps there. Now, what is the link to the free community? In my situation, my free community link is actually my main website URL anyway. So I can paste this link in both places, but what we want to do is use the free community link because that is part of the 4-hour workday strategy. We invite our audience to our free community for the training that we're promoting and open office hours. So the main offer would be how they upgrade from the free community. So I'm going to paste those in there, and then I'm going to click Generate Description. Okay, so now you can see the description has been generated. You can also see they didn't need to go into their own ChatGPT account to create this. And I am using my own OpenAI API key to generate the responses directly from ChatGPT. So you can see the analysis here. We have the primary keyword and topic, the key value propositions and benefits, target audience and pain points, compelling hooks and emotional triggers. And then down here, we have the content that we're actually going to use. So this is the title. And again, in my prompt, I have built this out so that it is structured exactly as I want it. So we have the title of the YouTube description, and that needs to be at the top because when you're scheduling your YouTube video, that's the first thing that it asks is the title. Then we have the description here. And again, this description is based off of the actual video. So it's pulling directly from that. And then it is acting as an SEO expert, and it is generating the description based on the keywords that we want to rank in the video. We also have the timestamps here. Now, I don't like that this first timestamp is off center. It should actually be under this. So that's something in the prompt that we can adjust. We have more of the description here, and then we have our main call to action. If you want to start over and generate another response, you can just click start over and then it will generate that. Now this is actually the tool that's embedded into a HighLevel page. So if you're not a HighLevel customer yet, you can go to myvisionagency.com to create your account, or you could join our free community. Now, the tool that we're using is called Formwise. You can go to myvisionagency.com/Formwise, and you'll see the link to Formwise here where you can choose your plan and create a free trial. And you can also click here and you'll see a playlist of all of the Formwise training that I've done. Now back inside of Formwise, you'll see all of the different tools that I have created and the different templates that are available. And we can create a tool here using a template. We could also use the AI tool builder, and I showed how to do that in yesterday's training. But if we want to start from scratch, we can click here. And we can choose individual tools or a template. If you have no idea how to create this, maybe you want to start with a template, but I'm just going to create this from scratch. So I'm going to start individual tools. And we do have co-pilots, which are more like custom GPTs that you'd create on ChatGPT, or smart forms, which is basically a form, but on the back end of the form, you're going to use ChatGPT or OpenAI to generate the response. So I'm going to click here. And again, we could use the AI tool builder, or we could click here to start from blank. And now we want to give our tool a name. So I'm going to call this YouTube Description Generator and create tool. I'm going to skip the tutorial. Okay, so now we have a completely blank tool, and we want to start by adding questions that we want to ask to generate the response. So for using our previous example, this is upload your video transcript. I'm just going to delete this placeholder text, but it is great to add the additional instructions just for clarity. So I'm just going to type in the title there. Now, before we move on, we want to go ahead and give this question an ID name that we're going to recognize. So I'm actually just going to highlight transcript because I'm lazy and don't want to type it out. And I'm going to go over here to question ID, click there, and then instead of Q1 answer, I want to just type in transcript. So what that does is it allows me to use this tag in my prompt to pull in the answer from this question. Okay. Now the next thing that we need is the timestamps. So let's go ahead and type that out. Paste the timestamps of your video here. Now let's go ahead and highlight timestamps, and let's give our question an ID that we recognize. Let's get rid of that space there. All right, so now we have our next question, and this one is going to be, what is the link to your free community? And then they can paste the link there, but let's go ahead and copy free community, and let's change the answer to free community, and let's add URL. Now we have another question here, and this one is going to be, what is your main offer? I'm going to go ahead and highlight this so I can copy it, and let's give this a name. All right, so now we have all of our questions. We can even go here and click display on a single page. Now, when you display on a single page, you'll see all of the questions are asked here. If you add them in a multi-step, it's just asking one question at a time. And if you have a lot of questions, or one of your questions is an email address, you likely want to add one question at a time so they're not super overwhelmed by all of the questions. But for the sake of the training, it is easier to make this single page so that you can actually see what's happening here. Now you can turn the webhooks on if you have a question that you want the answer to be imported into your HighLevel account. You can just toggle that on there, and then you want to add your webhook that you've gotten from HighLevel into this field here, and it will send that data. Now we're going to turn that off because we're not going to talk about that step today. However, we will be talking about that in the future. You can also turn off your Formwise branding. So if you don't want it to say Formwise and you don't want it to have your little Formwise affiliate link in the bottom, you can just turn that off there. And then if you did want to lock it down to a specific URL, you can toggle this on here and then add that URL there. I'm just going to make this allow all, and we're going to go ahead and X out of this. Now, we have our form created, but we want to make sure that we click on each of the fields here and we make this required, because we don't want anyone to be able to skip over the different questions, because we need all those questions to be able to generate the response. Now, the next thing that we need to do is create our prompt. So I'm going to click there for the prompt. We're going to click in this first field, and you'll see here that we can use an existing prompt that we've already used, and we want to give this a name. So we're going to call this YouTube Expert, and we want to put our prompt here. Now, how do we get a prompt? We could just start typing it out if we want to, Or we could use an AI tool. In this example, I'm going to use Manus. You can use ChatGPT, whatever you want, but Manus is a little bit more advanced than ChatGPT. And so I actually asked Manus to train itself on Formwise and the processes and all of that. And I did ask it to generate a YouTube post generator prompt that I can use. So you can see this is my prompt that it generated here. Now I do love to use AI to create the prompts because when we're testing, I can copy and paste or screenshot the result and I can upload it back to my AI tool, and then it will help me revise the prompt based on the response that it generated. So I'm just going to copy all of this here, and we're going to go back into our Formwise builder, and I'm going to paste this here. Now you can see why this is so awesome, because you can really customize this tool perfectly, either for your business, for like an internal tool that you're using for your own processes, or you can create this for your own clients. So you are a YouTube SEO expert with 10 plus experience in optimizing videos for maximum visibility and engagement. Your task is to create SEO optimized YouTube content that will rank highly in search results and convert viewers into subscribers and community members. So you'll see here that we have our inputs, and these inputs are what was created from the form. So for the video transcript, I'm going to erase this because this is just instructions. And I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click on the little @ symbol. And you can see when I do that, we have these shortcuts or question IDs that we created from the form. So I'm going to add the transcript there. Now what happens is when it gets to the prompt and the AI is running, it's going to go here and it's going to know that what this tag is, the information that's hiding in this tag, is the video transcript. Okay, so we're just mapping it out based on the information that we need it to use. So now the video timestamps, I'm going to highlight all of this, hold Shift, click on 2 because that's the @ symbol, and we're just going to change this to timestamps. For this one, it's going to be the free community link, and then for this one, it's going to be the main offer. Now, as we move through here, we're giving the AI instructions. So we want it to identify the primary keyword and topic of the transcript, extract 3 to 5 key value propositions and benefits, determine the target audience and their pain points, identify compelling hooks and emotional triggers. And you'll see throughout the prompt that there are places where you will want to add those tags. So here is a place right here where it's the main call to action, and we want to make sure that we override this description with the actual tag. So let's choose that main offer. And then we have this option here. So we need to replace this with the community link. So I'm going to choose that here. And that is all we need to do for the prompt. Now we need to choose the AI model that we're going to be using. So you could try this one here. Really, you could choose any of these, but you should choose at least the 4.0 or higher. So I'm going to choose that option there. And if we did want it to browse Google, or we wanted it to scrape a website, we could choose these options here. But I'm going to go ahead and just save the prompt. So now what we want to do is we want to test the tool, but I'm going to go ahead and publish live. All I did here was embed this into a HighLevel page, and I did a training yesterday, so definitely go back and watch that if you want to know how to do this. But I'm going to go ahead and just grab this long link here, and let's open this up and let's test it out. All right, so here is my form that I just created, and the first step is upload the video transcript. So let's go back here. I'm going to click here and copy. Now I want to go back to my form. Let's paste that in there. Now we have the timestamps of the video. So let's go grab those here. And we're going to paste those timestamps in. Now what's the link to the free community? I'm just going to paste this here. And then what's the main offer? We'll paste that there. So I'm going to go ahead and submit. And you'll see that it's generating the AI response. And that's really how quick it is to build a tool. You can see this is all formatted as I want it, and we can easily copy and paste this. Now, if there was anything in this response that we did not want to generate, we can easily tell the GPT to not add that or to change the formatting. And all we need to do is use a snipping tool, and I'm going to use Fireshot. I'm going to do the entire page, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this, take it back to my AI, and I'm going to paste that in there, and then I'm going to tell it exactly what I want to change. And then it will update the prompt, and then I will come back here and then update the prompt and then regenerate the response so that I can get it exactly as I want it. Now, you guys, that is really how easy it is to create your own custom tool. Now, tomorrow, we're going to talk about how you can collect contact information in your form and then send it directly to your HighLevel account. So if you wanted to create a multi-step tool where it only shows one question at a time, and the last question you want it to be, what is their email address? You can actually make this a multi-step by moving it here to multi-step and then just adding email as the last question. We'll use a webhook to send that data to HighLevel, and I'll show you all about that in tomorrow's training. Now remember, if you go to myvisionagency.com/Formwise. You can access a free trial of Formwise here, and you can also access all of the training that I've done with Formwise to make sure that this is a good solution for you and your business. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I look forward to working with you in open office hours. Go make your vision a reality. Bye.